Okay, so we've got a really interesting set of notes here. Looks like somebody's been diving deep into Onyx Storm, and specifically Violet's journey.
Yeah, lots of highlighted sections in this review you sent in.
And it seems like you're really trying to get a grasp on what happens after she leaves the relative safety of Bastiath War College.
Right.
So our mission today is to pull out the really important stuff for you. You know, the big developments, the obstacles, and the truths that are revealed, so you can really understand this next stage without getting bogged down in every little detail.
Absolutely. And I think the review makes it really clear right up front
Yeah.
that the initial learning phase at Bastiath is over.
It's done.
Yeah. This isn't about drills and training grounds anymore.
Right.
The threat, the venom and the wyvern, it's become immediate.
Oh, yeah.
And it demands action.
Wow. So for the listener, really, that shift from training to like real world
threat.
immediate threat.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It is. And it forces Violet to adapt in ways that we haven't seen before.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Let's do it.
It sounds like that sort of safe bubble of the War College is totally gone.
Gone.
The review even mentions enemies closing in.
Yes.
Not just from outside their borders,
Right.
but from within Bastiath itself.
It's everywhere.
Oh, that's so creepy. I mean, for me, that would create a sense of paranoia and uncertainty.
Absolutely. You can't even be sure who to trust.
Right.
The allies aren't always clear.
It's like everyone's suspicious.
Exactly.
And that leads to Violet making a big choice.
Huge decision.
To go beyond the wards of Arisha.
Beyond those failing wards.
And this journey, the review emphasizes this over and over again. It's not just a scouting mission or something.
No, this is a quest.
Right.
To find new allies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a test for her.
Like pushing her to her limits.
Pushing her to the absolute limit.
Yeah. So thinking about this for our listener,
Mm-hmm.
what's really driving her here?
I think it comes down to protection.
Protection of?
Well, her dragons, obviously.
Of course.
Her family.
Mm-hmm.
Her home.
Mm-hmm.
And Xaden.
Aiden, yeah, it's all on the line.
It is.
And to add to that, she's also got this secret.
Oh. Right, the secret.
Yeah, the review kind of hints that this could have major repercussions.
Down the line, yeah.
So that's another layer of tension. It's not just about external threats.
No, it's internal, too.
Yeah, something she's grappling with inside as well.
Mm.
So to sum it up for the listener,
Yeah.
it's like everything's been dialed up to 11.
Everything.
The stakes are huge.
Massive.
It's not just about surviving training anymore.
Nope.
It's about saving the world as they know it.
Exactly.
And then the review shifts gears a little bit
Okay.
to talk about the political landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And things aren't looking so stable there either.
No, not at all.
It says that the alliance between Navarre and Poromil,
Mm-hmm.
along with the new leaders in Tirandor,
Yes,
it's all very fragile.
it is. And it's the Venin threat. That's really exposing the weaknesses.
Oh, so it's testing their alliances, basically.
Exactly. It's like this pressure cooker.
Yeah, yeah. And then Violet's personal stakes. They
Mhm.
get really tangled up with all of this politics stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she overhears this crucial conversation.
Right.
And she becomes so determined to find a cure for Xaden.
Of course, because Xaden now bears the mark of the Venin.
He's marked. That's a big deal.
It's a huge development.
The review even mentions that she and the other marked riders,
Right.
they're constantly having to monitor him
Within Bastiath's wards, yeah.
within the wards to try and suppress this dark magic that's growing inside him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to create so much tension.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just for their relationship, but for everyone around them.
Right. You're constantly wondering, can Xaden be trusted?
Yeah, can he control it?
Can he maintain control of this dark magic?
So for the listener, this really highlights how insidious the Venin are, that they can affect even their most powerful protectors.
Right. It's terrifying.
Okay, so amidst all of this chaos,
Mm-hmm.
Violet's got these specific missions.
Yeah.
The review highlights the importance of Andarna.
Her young dragon.
Yeah, her dragon from the 7th breed,
The long-lost 7th breed, the Irid.
the Irid. And she's crucial for powering Arisha's wardstone.
Yes.
So for the listener, that means she's not just a bonded dragon anymore.
Yeah, she's way more than that.
Right. She's like their protector in a way.
Yeah, her lineage, it seems,
Mm-hmm.
holds the key to protecting their home.
Whoa. But then there's this big question.
Right.
If she's the last of her kind, how are they going to find more?
Exactly. How do you find more of a breed that's supposedly gone?
Right. So that's a pretty big mystery right there.
It is.
But before she can even focus on that,
Yeah.
she's got this pact with Viscount Tecarus.
Right.
And it seems simple enough on the surface.
Yeah. Griffin flyers for access to his library.
Right.
Simple exchange.
But I think our astute listeners out there, they know there's always more to these things.
There's always more than meets the eye.
Right. Like, why is this library so important?
Well, ancient knowledge.
Right.
Especially in a world like this,
Yeah.
facing these threats, it's rarely given freely.
Yeah, there's got to be some strings attached.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then the review gets into this Venin attack
Oh, yeah.
on a village in Poromil.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems like a real turning point.
It is a turning point.
We learn about Garrick having this second signet,
Second signet fast travel.
fast travel,
Yeah.
which seems incredibly strategically important.
Hugely important.
And then Theophany enters the scene.
Right.
This powerful, silver-haired Venin general.
A maven.
A maven, which means...
A maven is basically like a super powerful venin.
Oh, wow, okay.
A leader, a general.
And she seems very interested in Violet.
Very interesting.
Like maybe even turning her.
To the venin side.
That's scary. It's a scary thought.
And we also finally get a name for Andarna's breed.
The Irid.
The Irid.
Which is huge because now they have something to go on.
Right. They can research it. They can maybe find out more.
Exactly.
Okay, so it seems like every battle they face, it brings these new pieces to the puzzle.
It does.
But they often come with a cost.
Yeah.
Right? There's danger involved.
Always.
So then we see Azaden. He seeks refuge in Deverly.
The Magicless region.
Yeah, the Magicless region. To try and get some relief.
From the Ven magic.
Right, from the corrupting magic inside him. So this really shows how bad it is.
Yeah, he's desperate.
He's willing to cut himself off from his own power.
Absolutely.
And that means cutting himself off from Violet, too.
From their bond.
Because of the bond.
Yeah.
And the review points out that even their dragons,
yes,
they're worried.
Very worried.
Because they can't feel that telepathic bond anymore.
It's been disrupted. Right. So for you, the listener, that really underscores how deep their connection is.
And how powerful the Venin's influence is.
Okay, so while Xaden's doing that, Violet's got her own challenges.
Yeah.
Halden's off negotiating with King Cortland, which probably isn't going super well.
Given the political climate.
Right, exactly.
It's probably not.
And Violet has to go through this whole trial.
A trial.
To get her father's books back.
Oh, wow.
So again, for the listener,
yeah,
we keep seeing these themes of family legacy.
Family legacy.
And access to knowledge.
And knowledge is power.
Right. It's like they're always searching for answers in the past.
They are.
And then just as they're about to leave,
uh-oh,
Halden gets arrested.
Arrested.
Yeah. And this forces Xaden to step up.
Step into his role as Duke of Tyrrendor.
Yeah. And Violet's now his consort.
Wow.
So that's a huge power shift.
It is.
And Halden, being Halden, he doesn't go quietly.
Of course not.
And that leads to Xaden channeling power from the earth again.
Channeling that dark magic.
Yeah, so his control's still really shaky. It's
yeah.
like this constant danger. But I have to say, Violet, she's so quick on her feet.
She is.
The review talks about how she uses her bond with Ternan and Arna to secure this crucial alliance even though there's no magic around.
That's incredible.
It's like she finds a way.
She's a problem solver.
She is. Okay, so then their quest takes them to Sonorum. To see the queen. And Dane's there, too.
Oh, Dane.
Yeah, which can't be easy.
No, not given their history.
Right, but no luck finding other aired dragons.
Oh, bummer.
However, Violet learned something really unexpected.
What's that?
That she was almost pledged to a goddess as a baby.
Wow, that's a big revelation.
Right. I mean, that adds a whole new layer to her identity.
It does.
And it makes you think about destiny and, you know, hidden magical abilities. Right.
Definitely.
Okay, and then the journey continues.
To where?
To Hedotus.
Oh, Hedotus.
Yeah.
To meet the Xaden's mother.
Exactly. Talia.
Talia.
So those family dynamics, they just keep getting more and more complex.
They do.
Talia tries to reconcile with Xaden, but he's not having it.
Understandably.
Yeah, given their past. And then the triumvirate.
Right.
They put the whole squad through this dangerous test.
The test.
Yeah, and Garrick gets poisoned.
Oh no, Garrick.
So it really drives home the point that nowhere is safe.
Nowhere is safe.
They're constantly under threat.
Even among potential allies.
Right. And then comes a really tough moment.
Yeah.
And Darna has to choose.
Choose between
Between staying with Violet
Right.
or leaving to be with her own kind.
Other Irid dragons.
Yeah, and Violet, she actually encourages her to go.
Wow, that's a huge sacrifice.
It is. I mean, Andarna's not just a dragon. She's part of Violet's support system.
Right.
And she's vital for Aurasia's defenses.
She is.
But Violet puts the greater good first.
She does.
And that's a really powerful message for the listener, I think.
It is.
About selflessness.
Yeah.
And making tough choices.
Tough choices.
So Violet's dealing with this loss.
Mm-hmm.
But Mira, she kind of spurs her back into action.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then, boom, major revelation.
Revelation.
So that changed everything.
Like what?
First, we find out that Violet's parents, they dedicated her to the goddess Dun.
Dedicated her.
Yeah, to prevent her from turning Venning.
Wow.
And then the prophecy that we all thought was about Violet, it's actually about Zenin.
Whoa, hold on. So the prophecy is about Zed and not Violet.
Not Violet.
That changes everything.
Right. It makes you rethink everything.
It really does.
And that explains Mira's reaction.
When Zed finally tells her his secret,
right,
she tries to attack him.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
She was trying to protect her sister.
Based on what she thought was true.
Exactly. And all of this leads to the big confrontation with Theophany.
The final battle.
The review says it's just super intense.
Oh, I bet.
And Theophany's magic.
Yeah.
It's storm magic, just like Violet's mother, Lilith.
Wow. So Violet's facing her mother's legacy.
Yeah.
In a very real way.
It's going to be so emotionally charged.
Oh, absolutely.
And the battle's chaotic.
Chaotic.
Lots of riders die, including Quinn.
Quinn Imogen's red.
Yeah. And Taryn and Sachiel are trapped.
Oh, no.
So it's like everything's falling apart.
Yeah, it's bleak.
But then Andarna returns.
Andarna's back.
She comes back at just the right moment.
Amazing.
And helps Violet defeat Theophany.
How?
Using a fragment of Dun's temple.
A fragment of Dun's temple. That's interesting.
Right. It's like even though she left,
Mm-hmm.
Andarna's connection to her heritage is still so important.
Yeah, it's tied to their ability to fight the Venom.
Exactly. But the victory,
Yeah,
it comes at a huge cost.
a huge cost.
The Onyx Storm appears.
Uh-oh.
And Violet, she realizes that Sakian has channeled again.
He's lost control.
Yeah. And from Agzen's perspective, he makes the ultimate sacrifice.
The ultimate sacrifice.
He gives his soul to save Violet and Sigil.
Oh, wow.
And their final moments together, Violet whispers something to him.
Before she loses consciousness.
Yeah. It's just heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
And then even as he's fading,
Yeah.
Agzen makes this horrific discovery
What discovery?
that Panchek has been betraying them.
Panchek.
Yeah, feeding intel to the Venom.
He was the spy.
And even worse, a trusted friend has turned.
No, friends become Venom.
Yeah. So even with the victory, the cost is immense.
It's immense.
The Venonins are defeated for now.
Sure now.
And Violet wakes up 12 hours later back in Auritia.
Back in Auritia.
But the world has changed.
It's a different world.
Forever.
Forever change.
So to sum this all up for the listener, Onyx Storm throws Violet into just relentless conflict.
Relentless.
There are huge sacrifices, betrayals,
Betrayals.
and these major revelations.
That change everything.
Yeah, that make you question everything you thought you knew.
Absolutely.
And the lines between friend and foe,
They're so blurred.
blurred more than ever.
Yeah.
And the cost of survival is just devastating.
Devastating.
So if we had to pick out the biggest aha moments for you,
Okay, the biggest ones.
I'd say Garrick's second signet,
Mm-hmm.
finding out about the Irid and their connection to the wards,
Yeah.
the truth about Violet's dedication to Dun, and of course the prophecy actually being about Xaden.
And Zetan's sacrifice.
Oh yeah, Xaden's sacrifice. These are huge turning points.
They're massive.
They're going to shape everything that comes next.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this deep dive has given you a really good grasp of the core events without overwhelming you.
Without too much information overload.
Right. We didn't want to throw you into the dragon's den all at once.
No.
But it leaves us with a really big question.
Yeah.
After all of this hardship, all the battles, and then losing Vagam,
Losing Xaden in.
what does this mean for Violet's future?
Exactly. How does she go on?
How does she face the battles to come?
Both external and internal.
Right. The war's not over.
No.
And neither is her grief.
And her grief and her trauma.
Right.
It's a really uncertain path ahead for her.
It is. And that's something for you, the listener, to really think about. What does this mean for Violet?
Yeah. What does the future hold?
And how will she survive?